All right, Smell Good family. So it is fall season. All right. The reason I did this is because where I am in the South, we're still dealing with hurricanes and heat. So, but I will say that even in the evenings and the early mornings, that weather, that air out there feels different. The air feels different. You know that the summer is winding down, and those outrageously beautiful fall mornings and evenings are on their way. So it got me to thinking, when you talk about fragrances, right? Everyone's looking for the perfect fragrance. There we go again with the air quotes, the perfect fragrance. And is there really any such thing as a perfect fragrance? It just depends on who you're talking to and what fragrance that you're talking about, right? So today I have fragrances for me that I would consider perfect fall fragrances, kind of covering a lot of different lanes with these fragrances. You got some unique ability here. You got some, everyday, some everyday fragrances here. That you got, just different stuff for different situations, and they could really get the job done on a high level. So today we got 7 perfect fall fragrances that I believe that every man should at least sample, try, or even get for this upcoming fall season in 2025. All right, so let's get into today. YouTube, what's going on YouTube? What is going on? What is happening, man? Of course, your guy one more time, DEDRICKHICKSJR, and now I'm back with another fragrance video. Smell Good family. Hopefully everyone is doing well, doing great, doing fantastic. And as always, man, it's positive energy, it's positive vibes, and most importantly, it is positive vibes only. All right, so today we have 7 really, really good, almost perfect fragrance for whatever scenario that you go through during the fall season that I believe every man should tap into. All right, so a unique variety here. So let's go ahead and get started. Up first, the latest addition to my collection, and I've learned a lot about this fragrance in the past couple of days or a week. And I told y'all this is probably a week ago or a little over a week ago. I smelled it for the first time and I said I gotta have it. And this is going to be a perfect kind of daily driver for the fall with this beautiful, unique vibe to it. From the house of Clive Christian, we have Rock Rose. Rock Rose from Clive Christian. So I learned that the actual note of rose is not in here. Rock Rose is pretty much labdamen, all right? The cistus violet labdamen combination here give off these rosy nuances, give off these rosy vibes, but the actual note of rose is not in this fragrance. What you do get is some amber, you get some patchouli, again, that floral combination with some violet, some labdamen, some clary sage. There's this beautiful opening up top that I'm really blown away by what that neroli does to this fragrance, and it is outstanding. Like I said, this gives off rosy vibes, but the note of rose is actually not in this fragrance, so don't get it confused by the name. I'm not saying I was confused by the name, but I ain't gonna lie. When I smelled it, I was like, oh yeah, I smell the rose. So shout out to my guy EQ for kind of breaking it down for me, and then me kind of researching on my own. So yeah, again, this is an excellent dressed up fragrance. You can casually wear this fragrance. Like I say, this could be an everyday driver for the fall. And if you're looking for something different, something unique, here you go. Fougere-ish vibes to this fragrance as well. And it's really, really great. And it was one of those kind of love at first sniffs for me personally. So I did a video on this off a sample. Shout out to my guy Greg Boston. And then I ordered it later that evening. Yeah, this had to be in my collection. I have literally never smelled anything like this. And for this upcoming fall, and I think this is a 3 seasons, spring, fall, winter. But for the fall, I know this gonna shine. Whether we're going to the office, whether me and wife here going out for brunch or going out for early evening dinner, hanging out with family and friends at an event, a social event, whatever. Like you're going to probably be the best smelling person in the room wearing this. Not cheap. You're paying the price for this even on discounters, but I wanted it in my collection, and I have it from the house of Clive Christian. Perfect for me, man. We have rock rolls. This stuff's gonna do numbers. This stuff is amazing. Great stuff. All right. Up next, from the house of Electimuss, this one caught a lot of energy last year, and rightfully so. Not the biggest gourmand fan, but I do love cherry, and this is one of the more unique cherries that are out there. From the house of Electimuss, we have Caspian cherry. Beautiful bottle. I love what Electimuss does with their packaging, but this fragrance is sexy, bro. Golly, super attractive. I love how they did this. Again, not the biggest gourmand lover. I like my gourmands a certain way, and we got it here. The note of Amaretto is super present here, blended in with some dark cherry. You get some white chocolate and black chocolate here. There's some honey nuances to this. That Amaretto is a unique boozy factor. I've told the story before that I used to drink Amaretto sours when I was just dipping my toe into the game, so to speak, when I was a little bit younger. But I used to drink Amaretto sours all the time, and this definitely puts me in the mindset of that with smelling this fragrance. Very sexy fragrance, neck nibbling stuff, close encounter stuff. This performs really well, so you don't need a lot of sprays. And for those date nights or nights out, or you're going to a lounge, or you're going to the bar, you're going somewhere, you know, where it's gonna be a lot of adults in the room, and you're dressed accordingly, but you're looking for something that could create an inviting presence about yourself. Here you go. This stuff is awesome. I love this stuff. I think it's really good. Nicely blended in a very unique cherry fragrance, and perfect definitely for those situations for this fall season for sure. Fellas, tap in. From the house of Electimuss, we have Caspian cherry. All right, up next, I've always rocked with this fragrance ever since I've smelled it, and I bought it completely retail a couple of years back. This stuff is fire, and I just think it's another daily driver for the fall. Whether you're at the office or you're leaving the office, going straight to dinner, or going out to hang out with friends, it just has a lot of purposes that this can serve. Great for the fall season. From the house of Azzaro, we have the Most Wanted. You know, I'll be getting Wanted by Night, and the most wanted Parfum. Wanted by Night and the Most Wanted. I think it's only one Wanted by Night, but anyway, Most Wanted Parfum. This might be my favorite of them all. Beautiful ginger, woods, and bourbon vanilla. Really get this ambery vibe to this fragrance. It's just good. There's nothing groundbreaking about this, but it's just really good actually. And I've worn this in multiple situations. A lot of compliments come with this fragrance, and it's very nice. And I don't like overly sweet fragrances, as I tend to say often on this channel, but the bourbon vanilla is just the right amount. The ginger and the woods, the ambery hug to this is really good, and I'm a fan. Again, I've worn quite a bit of this because you have to kind of turn the bottle, so I got a decent dent. With all the fragrances that I have, I bought this full retail from Miss Heather in my local dealers because I just really enjoyed it, and I still enjoy it now. And it's definitely going to get more burn this upcoming fall season for sure. So looking for another daily driver for the fall cooler weather. Fellas, this is one to tap into. It's kind of perfect for that day-to-day vibe. From the house of Azzaro, we have the Most Wanted Parfum. This stuff is good. It's my favorite of the line for sure. All right. Up next, man, this is a designer classic here. This should have been in my top 10 designers of all time. That video I just did a couple weeks ago, I was kind of tripping. It was a couple of fragrances that I was tripping that wasn't on that list. But anyway, I digress. Here we are. This is perfect for the fall, for a lot of different scenarios. But going out on a fall evening, yes sir. From the house of Prada, you got Prada Black. Prada Black might be the best of them all, man. Carbon gets all the love, and rightfully so. The sport joint one gets all the love for sure. Oceans and that. But this here, man, look, you get this powdery, creamy, slightly woodsy style with this fragrance. Not slightly woodsy, it's a wood presence in here, but that powdery, fresh, semi-sweet vibe here is outstanding. This stuff pulls a lot of compliments and does numbers for sure. Typically for an evening out for sure. If you're going out to an early dinner or, you know, you're stepping out with some friends and, you know, you're not really trying to be like super serious, but you do want this kind of mysterious factor to yourself, here you go. Designer fragrances don't roll out like this these days. They just don't. It was a point in time in a certain era where designer fragrances was just rolling them out, and there was a unique factor to them. There was creativity to them, and this was right around the time where Prada Black was doing this thing. Once rumored to be discontinued, but I'm glad that they didn't. To my knowledge, I don't think that it is. But this stuff is absolutely fire. Perfect fragrance for the fall. Evenings out for sure. If you like a powdery vibe to your fragrance, it's not like grandma powdery. It's not that. All right, it's just the right amount of that powdery, kind of fresh and soft approach, but projects really, really well, especially in the first 2 hours. This stuff is stellar. From the house of Prada, we have the great Prada Black. Again, this should have been in my top 10 for fall fragrances. I mean, for my designer fragrances, and I dropped the ball with that one for sure. I dropped the ball. All right. Up next, man, I really like this fragrance. It gets a lot of love. It's top 5 from the line, in my opinion. An interesting composition with this fragrance. From the house of Mind Games, we have Jadoo. Jadoo from the house of Mind Games. Yeah, every man should try this for sure. Although unisex, definitely. But it's something about that suede and that pomegranate and that orange in here. The meetup of those 3 notes is beautiful. The dry down here is where all the magic really just happens for sure. The opening is just simply sensational. Like I said, unisex for sure, but fellas, look, if you're trying to get some attention, you trying to catch somebody's eye, and you have an idea who that might be, you're not trying to come off too ultra manly, you know, you want a sense of comfort to you, you want a sense of invitingness to you, this is one to definitely look into that. Don't get me wrong, ain't nothing wrong with wearing your leathers and your ooze and having that man's man appeal. That's not what I'm saying. But there are some occasions, man, where you trying to get her attention or no? Not saying those fragrances can't, those styles can, but if you're trying to get attention off the rip, here you go. That pomegranate, that orange, and that suede is very, very well done and very, very nice. So a perfect fragrance for the fall, social events, nights out. You can even wear it to the office if you like. I have kind of 3-season fragrance: spring, summer, fall. Spring, fall, and winter. You can wear this in the summer. I have, but not in the highest of heat. Like going into the evenings, it'll work. But this stuff is really, really good. Interesting concept with that pomegranate note. But ultimately, this one's definitely something that can help highlight your fall 2025 season. From the house of Mind Games, we have Jadoo. A lot of love for this in the community, and rightfully so, for sure. All right, 2 more left to discuss. Man, one of the better releases overall this year, in my opinion. One of the better releases overall this year. This stuff is great. From the house of Argos, we have Perseus Triumphant. Perseus Triumphant. Wow, this stuff is fire, bro. It's a fresher rose oud leather fragrance. Fresh rose, the right amount of spice, the right amount of touch from this like ambery vanilla. The oud in here plays very, very nice. The leather in here plays very, very nice. It's the freshest take on that style of DNA, and I personally appreciate it. I live here in the South. It gets really, really hot, and transitioning into the in the cooler months in the fall, this stuff blends well. And I did wear this in the summer, and it did well, but I'm very curious how this is going to do on those beautiful fall mornings, those beautiful fall evenings, and how what kind of experience I get with it then. But right now, the leather and the rose and that touch of sweetness in here is just beautiful. Performer. All right, Christian does amazing work. Argos does amazing work from the presentation and the fragrances, and this is just lovely. It's just lovely. I remember wearing this for the first time and just enjoying the entire experience until I showered later on that evening. So this stuff is fantastic, man. Great for the fall. Another versatile driver with a unique play with that rose, that leather and that oud. It's not an everyday vibe. None of these are real kind of like traditional everyday wear when you're talking about versatility. But going into the fall, you want to kind of switch up your vibe a little bit, and just kind of add a different vibe, just different vibe. Instead of your traditional clean and blue fragrances, shower gel fragrances. Nah, you ain't getting that with none of these, and these will work great for everyday wear. From the house of Argos, we have Perseus, Triumphant. This stuff is fire, man. I think every man should at least get their nose on this for sure, even if you don't like rose. I just think the leather in here, the touch of sweetness, the suede leather combo, fantastic. All right. And last but not least, I have to discuss this fragrance during the fall. And out of all of these fragrances that we talked about today, if I probably had to just rock one of these, it will be this. And I've been biased against this fragrance since I've gotten it for a couple of years now. But for the fall season, this is the perfect fragrance for me. From the house of Tom Ford, we have Ombre Leather, the EDP. Ombre Leather, the EDP. Fantastic, man. Beautiful. One of the dopest leather fragrances you'll ever get your nose on. It's kind of like sweet leather. There's some fresh facets to this. It's not a scary leather like your grandpa leather or your church Bible leather. It ain't that, man. When Tom Ford was running the show for his own brand and doing his thing, he was creating masterpieces, and this for sure is one of those ones. Literally, I have worn this in every situation during the fall season. I've been complimented in every situation I've worn it in. I've enjoyed my very own experience with the fragrance, of course, but it's just one of those ones. This is a man's fragrance who knows that he's fly. He knows that he has his stuff together. He knows that presentation does matter. And no matter what situation that he is in, this is a fragrance that could really be the icing on the cake. Perfect for the fall, for sure. If you ain't tried Ombre Leather, I ain't saying this is the greatest leather fragrance of all time. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying for me, it's like that for me. And if you haven't tried it, you are missing out, especially if you are a fan of leather. And even if you're not a fan of leather, this is one to look into for sure. From the house of Tom Ford, we have Ombre Leather, the EDP. It had to be on this list for sure. Outstanding. All right, so there you have it. Those are 7 fragrances that I feel that are perfect for every man to wear for this upcoming or this current fall season, even though it's not fall weather totally, at least down here. But these fragrances can work in many different situations, and you're gonna put up numbers, man. Numbers going up on the board. Don't let this fall be a missed opportunity. I ain't saying these fragrances can help you live for the moment for the fall, but they can help. Put your best foot forward. You're well dressed. You're well groomed. You're articulating yourself in a very good way, and then you're smelling great. I like your chances of winning. I just do. I know I like mine, but I'm letting you know I like your chances of winning as well. All right, so let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. What are some perfect fall fragrances for you guys that you feel like everybody or every man should try? What are some of those that you guys would recommend? Drop them down below in the comments. I want to see what y'all got. All right, so appreciate y'all for watching. Thank y'all for the love and the support. I do not take it for granted, and as always, positive energy, positive vibes only. All right, splack it up, splack it down, splack that thing all around. And remember, what you put onto this world, it's exactly where you are going to get back. Appreciate y'all. Peace. Until next time, splacker.